Everybody's talking about the retrofit escapade. Everybody's nuking dungeon bosses and raid bosses. So I created a build that I'm going to use to guild my Conqueror title this season. I did some testing in a Master Nightfall. If the super hard content's not for you, don't worry, this build can even be used in pretty much anything in the game. I'll even cover a loadout that you can use in the seasonal activity. So this video is covering weapon loadouts, fragments, aspects, armor mods, everything. I even explained why I use certain things. All this was filmed live on Twitch. Check that link in the description. There's tons of stuff I cover over there and questions I answer that I don't have time to put into videos. This machine gun's freaking lit, okay? 4 times target lock. It's void, so the rework to GYRFALCON'S allows you when you come out of invis to have volatile rounds. So which right away when I heard that, I already was thinking stylus executioner, because if you kill somebody with volatile rounds, you go invisible again. So therefore you have volatile rounds forever as long as there's enemies to kill. But also weaken and suppress. Your smoke bomb in of itself weakens. So I just did Glassway, which was barrier overload. But if I'm running barrier unstop, I'm going this pulse for barrier and then Wither Horde. So if it's unstop, I'll go Wither Horde for unstop. But I'll show you that build in a second when I switch out. But overload, barrier, I go Arbalest, funnel web. Funnel web and this are both 900 RPMs. The faster it shoots, the better for volatile rounds, more explosions that happen. But I'm going stylus executioner to constantly be in and out of invis, constantly applying volatile rounds with the synergy of this with the chest piece. And then I'm going vanishing step, so that way my dodge makes me invis as well. Now I did a lot of experimentation, so this is like a GM type build, not a boss damage build. Later I can explain what I would do for a boss damage, like a dungeon or a raid. But after a lot of testing, I'm going with Gambler's Dodge. You do like a wombo combo where you're not invis, you can throw a smoke bomb, kill an enemy. Now you're invis, and when you need it later on, you can dodge next to somebody to get that smoke bomb back. Now, this is the only grenade that has a void debuff in and of itself. This grenade suppresses, so this grenade will also make you go invis. The point of this is to have as many ways as possible for me to go invis. Suppression grenade, smoke bomb, dodge to get my smoke bomb back, and this dodge makes me go invis. Now the fragments, I didn't want to have a lot of fragments that are going to eat away my stats, because I have 100 mobility, 100 resilience. I have 70 strength. So I went with this to give me more resilience. Is mostly the only reason why I have this. And this I mostly went with just to give me mobility. But this I do have. Luckily it gives me recovery, but I have it for that finisher because I'm using Lucent finisher. I'll show in a second. And then this thing does work with volatile rounds, so they will add some extra explosions with those kills with volatile rounds, and obviously your grenade, and it gives you some intellect. All right, so like I said, I got this fragment here to finish to go invis because Lucent finisher. I do have artifice gear on, that way I could fit more in here, but you don't necessarily need it. You could like get rid of this to have it here instead. But Lucent finisher and this right here to stun overloads. From the helmet down, again, the idea is high stats, constant invis. I just threw this on here because whatever, I have an invis, I have a void helmet, but I have well of utility. Picking up void elemental well grants me additional class ability energy. I want my dodge up whenever I need it. I'm going powerful friends, more mobility, get that 100 mobility. Whatever your champion you're dealing with is, and you need an arc mod here to get the extra mobility stacks. If you don't have an arc mod here, yeah, no mobility you get, okay? No mobility. Jeez, I can't say it, tongue twister. Again, I have another stack of well of utility because these stack, multiple copies of these have increased effect. Whatever your resistance you need is. Reaping well maker. When I'm dodging, my next kill with the gun is gonna drop wells. So I pick that well up, it's gonna give me more class ability energy back with both my well utilities. I found a wisdom on just cause I can have it. You can go find a might if you want, but I just kind of want to have my super up more, I suppose. That's kind of what I settled on, just to have more utility. You could go like a bunch of fauna mites and just have weapon damage, but I kind of wanted to have just smoke bombs and dodges whenever I need them. My funnel web has Perpetual, Frenzy, Accurize, Hammer Forged. But the mods, like, you do whatever you want with the mods. Basically, you're gonna have this chest piece and a void gun and have these aspects. Whatever fragments you want, you can really do, as long as you have this finisher gives you invis if you're running Lucent finisher. Besides that, you could be as creative as you want. I'm just trying to maximize as much as possible, and I found that I like these well of utilities. I don't want to be a situation where I don't have my dodge and I'm about to die. But okay, so I mentioned if I'm gonna go unstop barrier, I'll show you what I switch. I have them titled my Desciana's manager. Seraph void barrier overload, Seraph void barrier unstop. All right, so like I said, if I'm going unstop barrier, I'm going Wither Horde, and then the Valley's X, the new, what do you call it? Ritual weapon for barrier unstop. I need to switch up my mods and my arms. So I'm going barrier and unstop mods here, which take up a lot of points. I had 1 point left over, so I just squeezed this mod in here. Whatever, you know, pick up a well with my super, whatever. The only thing else that changed is the class item. Pretty much just like the arms and class item. I'm going weaken clear now. And I still can fit Lucent Finisher in here. We can clear for the Wither Horde. And really, like, technically, if you wanted, you could get rid of this for this mod here. So something like the Warden of Nothing as all champions. Now you have this build with all champions. This is my favorite one to run with Wither Horde, because I like to do a wombo combo where I'll start off my engagement by throwing my smoke bomb and then shooting my Wither Horde, and then boom, I'm invis. And then I just start spraying with my pulse or my machine gun. Lucent Finisher always keep me topped off on the machine gun. But honestly, this is my favorite build to run this season. Favorite character and everything. Now, if you wanted to use a build like this in a dungeon or raid, I would swap out Stylus Executioner for Trapper's Ambush. That way you can start the boss damage phase, so use your smoke bomb to go invis. Then you're going to switch your dodge to the dodge to reload. You're going to save this to reload your gun and also proc your invis later. That way you have volatile rounds up more often. In this footage right here, I'm not even using Fauna Might, so if you wanted to switch to mods to dive into Fauna Might, go ahead. Something like Elemental Time Dilation, 3 stacks of Fauna Might with Reaping Wellmaker. And if you really want, you could also use this fragment right here. That way your weapon is reloaded from your grenade. If you want to see a team of 5 hunters and a well warlock against some raid bosses, check these 2 videos out right here.